Welcome back, everyone. I'm busy listening to Kirk. That's what I'm doing at this moment and moving my coffee cup out the way as well. Grammy Award winner Kirk Whalum returns to South Africa with his intimate tour with fellow artist John Stoddart this month. The musician, known for playing a tenor saxophone solo, played in Whitney Houston's mega hit I Will Always Love You, will be hitting Johannesburg and Pretoria from tomorrow until the 27th of July, with his intimate tour segmented between the best of Kirk Whalum and the gospel according to jazz. As an internationally renowned saxophonist, jazz and gospel artist, Kirk Whalum will be joined by recording artist, songwriter and producer, as I mentioned, John Stoddart, whose musical resume is peppered with other musical greats from Celine Dion to Jarreau. Both Kirk and John are in studio with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see both of you
Great
again
to be
here.
back.
Hey, the last time was at the Jazz Festival.
That's right, in Cape Town.
I remember
and,
that.
Yeah, it's so nice to be back in Josie. I mean, because it seems like we go straight to Cape Town these days.
It seems like it, doesn't
So
it?
it's nice to stop here.
Well, I'm happy you have, because the weather is terrible in Cape Town. it may be beautiful, but the weather's not that great at the moment. So, Kirk, obviously you've converged jazz and gospel together. What's going on there?
Well, actually, I believe that was done long before I got here. You know, really, they started out together. You could think about this music that started out really in the enslaved culture in the United States. And of course, we can thank Africa for the beautiful melodies and rhythms that eventually, merged or morphed into what we now know as jazz. But it certainly had its start in gospel music. It all really started with those melodies that you would hear in the field as they were working. You know?
Well, we talk about the roots of gospel music, and let's go back to your roots, because you started off playing piano at church.
Yes.
That's where it all began.
I still do play in church.
And you still do?
As often as I can.
Good.
Yes.
So just talk to us about your beginnings and how you started off in the industry.
Well, I think that, like Kirk, a lot of us began our musical journey in church, and there's so much about the gospel music that we grew up with that informs all the music that we still do. Not just musically, but spiritually as well, just acknowledging that this music is really a gift from God. And so it's just such a privilege to be able to come to places like South Africa and share this music that we've been given back with the people.
Yeah, and this is it's a much more intimate tour that you're on, because usually when you are performing at the Jazz Festival, it's a massive festival. There's so many other artists, but this is just about you guys this time. How are you feeling about this one?
Well, it's something that we do all the time. We play a lot of dates, just the two of us, you know, and it's a unique challenge. It's as a musician, when there's just the two of you, you really have to make it happen without all the bells and whistles, and literally bells and whistles, I guess, with drums and bass and everything. So, but with us, it's great because we have a rapport that has developed over 20 years, so there's something special that happens. And, the gospel according to jazz is a pretty unique sort of concept that came up involving George Duke and Layla Hathaway, a lot of great artists. My brother Kevin, well loved here in South Africa. But, I would say that the great Jonathan Butler, as well as the great Jonathan Rubin, are two folks that represent that this is not something that we are bringing to South Africa. It's something that was already here, but that we get to complement with what we're doing.
So how does it work? I mean, just talk me through an evening when the gospel according to jazz. How does this work?
That's the great, there's no real answer to that question. That's the nice thing, is that you never know.
Never know. Yeah, we like to keep it sort of an element of spontaneity in it as well.
And, but the fact is that people come to experience something different, something that has more content that relates to their soul. It's not like, okay, you're just playing notes. This is something that relates to our relationship with the Father.
Yeah, John. I mean, you're a singer and you're a songwriter.
Yes.
So I mean, you've been on both sides of the field. What do you enjoy more?
It just depends. I enjoy it all for different reasons. So the great thing about these performances is that I'll get to do a little bit of both. Kirk and I have been working together for a long time now, so we'll do some original songs, we'll do some of our old songs that we grew up with that we've done new treatments of, and we get to play a little bit, we get to sing a little bit. Even Kirk sings on this.
Oh, really?
I am not a singer, but I do sing on the...
That's amazing.
You know, I sing in the shower, and so I figured it's time for me to come out.
Okay.
And by the way, Jonathan Rubain's band is going to perform with us
We are
on
really
Sunday.
excited. Oh, man, we are so looking forward to
And
that.
also on Saturday. At the Baseline, we're going to do something very unique with his band. I heard him, they opened for us in Paarl when we were here last, and we said, okay, how can we
figure out
this
how to do
And
something
so his
with
whole
him?
band is going to be
That's going to be
exciting.
amazing. I mean, you're no stranger to playing with some unbelievable artists. I mean, on the moment here, we got you with Lana Haraway, and I mean, that's just one of the artists you've performed with. What are some of the other highlights?
Well, you know, I'll say that music is about collaboration. You know, when I eat a great meal, like last night, the prawns, oh my goodness, I like eating one thing with another thing. I don't like to just have that one thing. I always like to see what mixes well together. And that's how music is. Yeah. And for me, I mean, from, you know, the great George Duke, I mentioned him, you know, with such cariño, as we say in Spanish, that we miss him. We've lost him now. It's been about a year. Yeah. And so this is the first Gospel According to Jazz that we just finished, Chapter 4. But we had to do this one without George, and it was a big deficit.
It's a big loss for you.
But we dedicated to him as well as to the great Madiba. Yeah. And actually have a song on the record called Madiba.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Will you be performing it?
We will perform that song. You know, that's one that you kind of need, you know, the guys in my band that John and I play with all the time, you know, we rehearsed all that music, and that's something sort of special to that particular band. So when we come back, we'll do the whole, you know, chapter 4.
Right?
Excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Excellent. That way we look forward to that one. John, again, I ask about these collaborations because it's just so exciting, I mean, to know the names that you've worked with as well, from Kirk all the way through to the likes of the legendary Diana Ross.
Yeah.
You know, what's it like for you working with these names?
These are people that I grew up admiring their music and who have been a big influence on me, either as a singer or songwriter, producer, musician. So when you get a chance to work with these iconic artists, from a career perspective, of course, it's great. But it's always, I think, even more special for me when you get to know them as people a little bit. You get to maybe share a meal together or share stories, or you find that you have friends in common and so on and so forth. So, and it does a lot to enhance the musical experience when you're actually able to connect with these people. So it's one of the highlights of my career to get to work either as an arranger or producer or songwriter.
I can imagine.
Singer,
I mean, you must
with these
be a bit
great artists. It's
starstruck
amazing.
in the beginning.
You do.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I got a chance to perform just recently with the great Michael McDonald, an amazing soul singer. And I'm sitting and I'm hearing the music come at me from the monitor, and I'm saying, wow, it sounds just like the record.
Like Michael McDonald. Oh, it is.
It is
him. It's almost surreal. Hey, it's surreal. Well,
incredible.
That's how some people feel performing alongside you as well. You guys better know that. Exactly, and that's what's so amazing. The good news is that you, South Africa, are going to be able to see both of these guys. Kirk Whalum featuring John Stoddart, intimate duet tour tickets can be booked through CompuTicket. Let me give you some details. Tomorrow night at Raymond Ministries, that's where it's going to be happening. 7:30, and this is happening in Johannesburg. Then let's move forward to this intimate evening, the best of Kirk Whalum. I've got the new dates. The 24th of July at Baseline.
That's right.
The 26th of July at Baseline, and that'll be also on the 27th in Pretoria Botanical Gardens in the morning.
Right, so
11
Friday and Saturday at Baseline, and we'll
Okay.
get to perform with the great Jonathan Rubain and his band, and then as well in Pretoria at the Botanical Gardens, which opens at 11. People can come in and get their food and have a good time, have a little picnic, and that's going to also feature Jonathan Rubain.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to it. CompuTicket, that's where you can get it. International Grammy Award winner, saxophonist Kirk Whalum, and international R&B artist John Stoddart giving us an insight about their tour here in South Africa. Stay tuned. They're going to play us out. You don't want to miss this. We'll see you after the break.